What's going on, guys? My name is Tyler. Welcome back to the channel for another very important AMC update video. And just like the title of this video and the thumbnail says, we're going to be going over the potential for a gamma squeeze because we do have a strong potential for a gamma squeeze. But if you guys have seen some of my other videos where we do go over the actual open interest of calls and puts that are held in people's brokerage accounts, there is a decent amount of puts as well, but we are severely leaning towards the bullish side as far as calls, and these calls are actually way closer to going into the money than the puts are closer to going into the money. So if that doesn't make sense, we're going to break it all down for you guys, go over the ortex data, a little bit of technicals, and everything else you guys need to know leading into Monday. So with that being said, guys, drop the like on the video if you want to see AMC stock go through a gamma squeeze and to help push this video out to as many apes as possible that need to hear this factual information. Also, subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell. So first things first, guys, let's get into the technical analysis. And one thing that I do want to point out is this orange line is the 200-day moving average. The 50-day moving average is the blue line. As you guys can see, we are starting to narrow in, and this 30-day or 200-day moving average is pretty much at $30. It's at $29.31, but relatively speaking, it's at almost $30 per share. So that is really where we're seeing a lot of support. But this 50-day moving average is currently at $35.98, and we are seeing a bit of resistance, usually around $33. We'll get over 33 to about $34, and then we will reject off of that and come down. So if we can break out past this 50-day moving average, that will look very bullish. But ultimately, once we get over $40, that is where we're looking at a greater potential to actually see a move to the upside. And if we get to $40 by this upcoming Friday, by this options expiration, keep in mind, this is a monthly expiration date. So we're seeing a lot of activity on the option chain like you do typically see with these monthly expiration dates. But if we get to $40, by this upcoming Friday, you're going to see a lot of contracts that have went into the money. You're going to see millions and millions of shares that have been bought on the back end of these options, because as we do know, if you are buying calls 9 out of 10 times, it's market makers that are actually initiating the back end of that trade for you. So if you start to win on your trade, they are ultimately losing on that trade, causing more buying power to go into the stock. But we'll break that down more in just 1 second. That is all really you guys need to know. Watch out for the $30 support level, as well as watch to see if we can maintain over $33, ultimately break out past $36 and this 50-day moving average. Watch for the volume to come back into the stock. We have seen relatively low volume days at the lower end, about 57.8 million for volume as of Friday. So definitely on the lower end. Some days we will spike like we did see here August 10th. We actually went down a significant amount, about 6% on August 10th, and we did have 115.5 million for volume. So watch for the volume to come back into the stock. Watch for the stock to go up in price. Now, as far as the ortex data, guys, we did go over this in another video, or the last video, so I don't want to go over it too much, but we are at 19.01% legal short interest. This is not accounting for naked short positions as well as synthetic short positions. So where we do currently sit, we are more bullish than we have ever been since this last gamma squeeze situation did play out. As we do know, June 1st through June 3rd, we did drop back down to about 10% short interest at the lowest point. Now we are indicating 19%. We're getting very vulnerable to see some level of shorts actually start to cover. 97.24 million shares that are sold short relative to the volume. Like I say in all of these videos, you're looking at almost 2 days worth of buys going into the stock, just shorts covering. Nevertheless, FOMO buyers, day traders, and even hedge funds and institutions that are waiting for the short squeeze to happen, or at least some bullish momentum to the upside to come into AMC stock to initiate a trade. Now, the share utilization is coming down at 92.56%. That essentially means that there is more shares hedge funds and institutions are willing to sell short, which is bullish for us. I ultimately like to see the share utilization coming down, so more available shares to be sold short, and the short interest going up, because the two most important things with the short squeeze is that the short interest continues to go up, the shorts are not covering, and the apes continue to buy the stock and hold the stock. Obviously, some are going to sell, so say 1 share is sold for every 2 that are bought. Eventually, we are going to own over 80% like we already do, maybe 90 or 95%. Nevertheless, hedge funds and institutions that own about 29%. So we do know there's some level of shares that are unaccounted for. Basically, there's many more shares, millions of more shares that are outstanding being traded that we can account for with the the insider ownership, the individual ownership like us apes, and the institutional ownership, we're looking at about at least 110 to 115% of the total shares that are outstanding. So definitely something to keep in mind for share utilization coming down as the short interest goes up. Free flow on loan, we also want to see that going up as well. That is at 21.83%. So we're looking at the availability of about 2.83% short interest to go into the stock in the near term future if all of these shares held by hedge funds and institutions were sold short. So those are the most important things that I like to keep in mind. Looking very bullish as far as this ortex data. Now let's get into the gamma squeeze situation, guys, because like I said, we are leaned towards the bullish side, but we do have quite a bit of bearish activity as well. But once we look at the option chain, you will know for sure that this is leaned towards the bullish side. So for August 20th, that is the monthly expiration. As you guys can see from the open interest, it is much higher than the next about 3 weeks worth of expirations after this next upcoming Friday. The next biggest day is going to be September 17th, but we are talking about August 20th, of course. And we do have in the money calls of 43,643. For in the money puts, you're looking at 54,469. So more in the money puts by about 11,000 options. But there is a big difference when you do look at the option chain where these options are actually held in people's brokerage accounts. By that, I mean what strike people have these options on. Now, coming over to the actual option chain, obviously these contracts expire August 20th. This left side is calls, this right side is puts. So for the $34 strike alone, and we are only 50 cents away from this, you're seeing 12,588 contracts that are held in people's brokerage accounts, considering about on average 90% of this open interest is going to be held on the back end by market makers. You're looking at right here 1.25 million shares that would have to be bought back. At the $35 strike, you're seeing 17,227 for open interest. That is only $1.50 away, guys. That is 1.72 million shares that would have to be bought by market makers. At the 36, you're seeing 430,000 shares that would have to be bought, or 4,300 for open interest. At the 37, you're seeing almost 8,800. For the 38, you're seeing 9,200. For the 39, you're seeing 4,300. And for the $40 strike, you're seeing 23,588 options held in people's brokerage accounts. That would be 2.35 million shares that would have to be bought by these market makers. So you're looking at roughly about 5 to 7 million shares that would have to be bought by the market makers if we did get to $40 by this Friday. That is not to mention the apes that normally buy shares throughout the week, or the traders that are coming into the stock, or the hedge funds and institutions that will be coming into the stock. So we're not looking at the potential here for a wild gamma squeeze. We're looking at some kind of price action, in my opinion, up to about $40, even $45, depending if we get news or not. That could be another driving catalyst, or just bullish sentiment overall. Whatever the case is, I think possibly $40 to $45. I don't want to put a price target on it. Ultimately, not a financial advisor, not a financial planner, or your dad, so do whatever you guys want to do, and I wouldn't be buying options based off of what anybody says in any YouTube video. But there's a dramatic difference from this when you do look at the actual put side, guys. Let's take a look at the puts. And for the $33 strike, which is 50 cents out of the money, just like this $34 call, you're only seeing 3,800 for open interest. For the $32 strike, you're seeing almost 4,200 for open interest. For the 31, you're seeing 4,300. For the 30, you're only seeing 12,860. So for the call that is $3 out of the money, I mean, you're seeing 17,000 for open interest compared to 12,860. Other than that, $28, $5,000, $27, $2,000. The biggest thing here, you're seeing a lot of these puts, this open interest for these puts at the $25 strike, 45,504 for open interest at this $25 strike. I think it's highly unlikely we go to $25. So these puts will, in my opinion, expire worthless, but you're also seeing a lot of puts at the $20 strike as well, almost 28,000. So a majority of this open interest is held at the $25 strike and under, whereas the majority of the open interest for the actual calls is held in between the $34 strike and the $40 strike. Obviously, you're going to have some higher open interest numbers as the contracts are a lot cheaper further on down the chain. At the $145 strike, I can't believe people still buy these, at 58,217. So it is severely weighted closer to the money for the calls, whereas the puts are really far out of the money, guys. I think it's highly unlikely we drop almost $9 by Friday to see a majority of these puts go into the money. If that does happen, you're going to see a lot of shorting going into the stock. But like I said, I think it's highly unlikely that will happen. So that is really what is going on here. That is what you guys do need to know. Nothing is set in stone. Keep that in mind. This is not a prediction. I'm giving you guys the facts, and hopefully you can see this. It is everywhere. The facts of the bullishness of the AMC short squeeze and the potential gamma squeeze are here. So if you guys can't see that, then I really don't know what to tell you. I'm not saying it's going to happen or it's not going to happen, simply presenting the facts to you. So if you guys like these factual informational videos, make sure to drop that like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell. Also, let me know down below in the comment section how many shares of AMC that you guys do own, and if you guys think technical analysis really does help give you guys a glimpse into what could happen with the stock. I know it's about 50-50, but let me know what you guys think about technical analysis down below in the comment section. If it does anything, if it's just pointless, let me know your opinions on that down below. Also, check out the links down below in the description. There is a link for public. Get up to $70 in your choice free stock in about 3 minutes time with no need to link bank account or deposit a single dollar. That is by definition free money. Like I said, if you did this right now, you'd have your free stock in about 3 minutes time with no need to link a bank account. You might as well do it. It is free money. They also do not use payment for order flow. I also do have a link down there for the private Discord for the buy and sell alerts. We talk stocks all day, all different kinds of stocks, but we send out alerts when we do make trades in real time, whether it's a day trade, swing trade, or longer term investment. So definitely check that out. Very inexpensive, and it does pay for itself. So with all that information out the way, make sure to comment down below. I will see you guys in the next video.